She said it casually, almost smiling like she was talking about grocery shopping. Meeting her ex every weekend, she explained, was no big deal. They were just friends now. I remember nodding slowly, pretending to understand, even though something tight twisted in my chest. We had been together for 3 years, sharing an apartment, routines, and quiet dreams about the future. Trust was something I believed we had built carefully, brick by brick. Her words felt like someone casually tapping at those bricks, testing how loose they were. At first, I told myself not to overreact. People can stay friends with their exes, right? I wanted to be modern, mature, understanding. I didn't want to be the insecure partner who sees threats everywhere. But weekends changed. Saturdays became empty, spaces where she dressed nicely and left with a quick kiss on my cheek. Sundays were filled with vague stories and tired smiles. I tried to ignore how distant she seemed afterward. One evening, I finally asked what they talked about. She shrugged and said, "Old times. Mostly." That answer sat heavily between us. Like a third person at the table, I started noticing things I hadn't before. Her phone was always face down. She laughed at messages she didn't share. When I entered the room, conversations ended too quickly. Still, I stayed quiet. Love can make you patient to a fault. I convinced myself that trust meant silence, that questioning her would only push her away. Then came the night everything cracked. We were sitting on the couch, the TV on but muted, when she brought it up again. She repeated that meeting her ex every weekend was no big deal. This time, before I could respond, she added something else. Her tone changed, becoming sharper, more honest. She said, "He understands me in ways you never will." The room felt suddenly cold. I asked her what she meant, hoping I had misunderstood. She sighed like I was exhausting her. She told me that with him she felt free, that their past gave them a connection she couldn't explain, that sometimes she wondered what would have happened if they had never broken up. Each sentence landed like a blow. I realized then that this wasn't about friendship. It was about emotional space she had already left behind with me. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't accuse her. I just asked if she still wanted to be with me. The silence that followed was answer enough. She said she cared about me, but care wasn't love anymore. She said she didn't want to choose, didn't want ultimatums. She wanted both worlds. Something inside me finally settled. Not anger, not jealousy, clarity. I understood that staying would mean slowly disappearing. I told her that I couldn't compete with a ghost from her past. I deserved someone who chose me fully, not on weekdays only. She looked surprised, maybe expecting me to argue or beg. Instead, I stood up and started packing a bag. As I folded my clothes, memories rushed in, laughter. Late-night talks, shared plans. Letting go hurt, but holding on would have hurt more. At the door, she asked if we could talk again later. I told her there was nothing left to say. Some words, once spoken, end everything. I walked out into the night feeling strangely light. Broken, yes, but also free. The first few weeks were hard. I replayed conversations, wondered if I had acted too fast. Loneliness crept in during quiet evenings, but slowly peace replaced doubt. I slept better. I laughed without forcing it. I stopped checking my phone for messages that never came. Months later, I heard she went back to him. It didn't sting the way I expected. It only confirmed what I already knew. What ended everything wasn't that she met her ex every weekend. It was what she said next, and what I finally chose to hear.